Cut up fish and rats for these guys, right? Want to come volunteer? Well, believe it or not, people actually do volunteer to do stuff like that for us. We started out as a volunteer organization, and we still rely on a fantastic crew every year. We had 62 people last year who donated over 2,000 hours of their time. And some of them wanted to do the cleaner jobs, work in the gift shop or in the front office. And some of them decided that they wanted to clean out large eagle enclosures. Anyone like that in here? Anyone want to volunteer to clean out eagle enclosures? Oh, darn it. Well, in that case, I will just introduce you guys to our educational eagle. Her name is Sitka, and she has been here for quite a while. Because she can't be released, she now helps us learn about Sitka, about Alaska, the temperate rainforest, and of course bald eagles, because that is very important to know about. Now, although she is a trained bird, she still is a wild creature, and we need to make sure that we can respect that and make her feel comfortable up here. So I need you guys to remain seated the whole time that she's out here, and also hold your applause. Applauding, loud noises, and standing up or walking forward will definitely spook her, and we want this to be positive for her. Now, you guys can take photos, and with that flash photography, she is totally used to that. She loves having her picture taken. Sometimes I think she poses for her photos. So please take a lot of photos, but don't stand up to get them. I promise you, if you hold the camera up above your head, you will get some great photos that way too. Now, I would like to introduce you to Sitka and her handler.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to tell you guys a little about Sitka and her background to start us off. Sitka got injured in 2002. She actually hit a car and suffered a lot of damage, mostly on the right side of her body, or the side that is closest to me. One of those things was her wing. She had a hole torn in her patagium, or the fleshy part that does connect her wing. And then the other thing was she had severe damage to her right rear toe, or her hallux. And that's kind of hard for you guys to see, but such a bad infection that she had to have that whole talon actually amputated. And so her wing really limits her mobility. She can really only fly straight and down. She can get pretty good distance, but not enough to be released again. And she has a lot of balance issues, and she wouldn't be able to hunt properly or hang on to those really slippery fish, missing that right rear toe. It's kind of like us losing a thumb, for a comparison. So she recovered from everything but a non-releasable bird. We had a spot for her here. Her temperament was pretty tolerant of people for a wild bird, so we thought maybe she'd make a good educational animal, and put a lot of training into her. And 6 months went by where she felt confident enough to be brought out here by trainers and do programs for us. And she's been here 8 years now at Raptor Center. And it's wonderful to have her. So that's a little bit about her. Do you guys have any questions for me that you might be wondering? And she's going to chase that bug.
How long do they live?
How long do they live? In the wild, they can get into their 30s, so a pretty long time. And then in captivity, they have the potential to reach their 50s.
What do you typically feed her?
Yeah, what do they eat? She's strictly a meat eater, so carnivore. She gets a lot of salmon. So in the wild, she'd be a fish-eating eagle. But we also do, today I have some bits of chicken, which is kind of a bonus for them. It's a treat. It's not very good for them. But we also do rabbit, bear, deer meat, all kinds of stuff for these birds.
I can count how old they are.
Well, you can age bald eagles up to 5 years old. And once they are 5, they look like their adult plumage. They look like this. After 5, you can't age them. Since she was only 2 years old when it happened, we'll be able to keep track of her age better. So she's a 10-year-old bird.
And how do you know they can live to 50 years?
There was actually a captive bald eagle that hit 54 years of age. So they have the potential to live a very long time. Any other questions? Oh yeah, actually we haven't done that, have we? How much do you guys think she weighs? Any guesses for me? 25 maybe? 50?
Wow.
6 pounds.
Oh, there we go. Kind of all over the place. So that was too low, but somebody said 15. That was pretty close. She's actually 12 pounds. The max a female bald eagle could get, maybe 14. I think they're having some cases with heavier birds, but females go from 10 pounds to 14 pounds. Males, which are smaller, are 7 to 10 pounds usually. Very, very lightweight.
Does she have to eat like twice a week or something like that every day?
Well, it's a little different how much she eats in captivity. She gets about a pound of food a day, but we have to be very careful. These birds aren't hunting. They're not moving very much. We can overfeed them, and they have problems with obesity in captivity. So we can, she's trained to go on a scale, and so we can increase her food or decrease it depending on her weight of the day. She doesn't do any breeding. She won't get to. We don't do that here. We don't have the proper permits for that, and it's just not a goal we decided to pursue. So unfortunately, she won't get to breed.
So how do they exercise since they are limited?
Yeah, the birds that we have on stage, we try to get them down to the river as often as possible, and basically we'll put them on a really long leash and let them go in the river. And then I've seen them in their cages by themselves. In the morning especially, they'll get on their perches and do a bunch of jumps and flapping, and it must feel good to stretch their wings. And then we do, to add to that, we try to get them out of their cages as much as possible, besides the stage, just so they have a different environment and some enrichment for that, and they're able to flap a little bit.
What's that rope tied to her?
She's tied to me. So if she were to get spooked and jump off the glove, then I've got her. This is kind of a last resort because I'm also holding all her equipment. So it's just a safety precaution. And she knows if she jumps off the glove that she gets back up on me. So basically I'm a perch for her. But this is like our last thing because I don't want a bird that can't fly to get on the ground and potentially start running and be scared and run into something or run out in front of cars or things like that.
How long have you been with her?
I have been working with Sika about a little over a year now. And then birds of prey in general for about 4 years.
Do you let her in with other birds at all?
She has been in a cage with our male Volta. And she could be in a cage potentially with even the wild eagles, as long as there's a big enough food source that they don't need to squabble about that. But she does act differently now than, say, the wild ones that we have, because she does know people could mean potentially something good. So she might kind of use that and act a little bit differently around the other eagles.
Does she recognize you?
I think she does recognize me and the other trainer. We don't know what it is she's recognizing, but she does react to us differently, as opposed to, say, our vet or our rehabilitator, which she reacts very negatively to. So yeah, I don't know if she recognizes a face or a voice or how we move or something we're not seeing. It'd be interesting to find out. Yeah.
Is it true that they breathe mid-air?
No, it's kind of confusing. They can't do the actual breeding in midair, but they do a lot of courtship in the skies where they are kind of testing each other's fitness. And you guys probably saw the sculpture on your way in. That's down the hallway, and that's showing they will lock talons sometimes and spiral down and then let go before they hit the ground. And so that's all basically a big display on trying to find the right mate. And then actual breeding part of it is usually they'll go find like a tree or some kind of perch. I get asked much more than that too.
All right, I think we have time for just one more question.
Anything else? Have I answered all your questions?
Can they show affection at all, or?
Oh yeah, do they show affection? They are not like the parrots, is what usually people think. So if I were to reach up and scratch her head, she just wouldn't view it as anything rewarding because they don't do that really with each other. So for me to do it would be a little odd. And the only thing I can offer her as a reward is food. So any sort of touching or stroking or anything, she'd probably just wonder why I'm doing it and bite and let me know that she's not pleased with that.
All right, so we're going to let these two return to their respective habitats now. If you guys could remain seated and hold your applause.
Thank you guys so much for stopping by today, supporting us here at the Raptor Center. I'm going to be right back out if you have some more questions for me, but if you don't enjoy the rest of your time here, you can sit back.
Thank you.
All right, we can give them a round of applause now. Now that they're safely out of the way. So folks, the way that we are able to help birds like Sitka and reach our rehabilitative and our educational goals is through the generosity of people just like you. Coming here today, just walking through our doors and going on this tour, that is what keeps us up and running. So I want to thank you guys, first of all, for coming in today and supporting us. If you are interested in any further supporting, we are also able to run because of our educational programs like the Adopt a Raptor and also our membership. So if you guys are interested, just right back there to the front desk. Now, with the rest of your time here today, please stop by the touching table and the clinic viewing window right over here. You'll get to feel some bones, feathers, see a feather mite over there. So check that out, and we will be available for questions over there. Now, off of our back deck, you will find 2 more bald eagles and a golden eagle in different enclosures. You can compare the species back there. There is a little trick to get to the back deck. You walk slowly through our gift shop. Anyone need that repeated? Slowly. Now, if you guys buy anything here, all of the proceeds do stay here to help the birds. So we consider it guilt-free shopping. You're going to find a lot of these things elsewhere in Alaska. But if you buy it here, it's a pretty good cause. And we do have an exclusive item, mugs and T-shirts. Has a very grumpy-looking eagle on it. And it says underneath, "I am smiling." Now, I'm sure everyone knows someone who could use a T-shirt like that. I definitely do. And so once you guys get slowly through our gift shop and outside, we do have smaller raptors. We have owls, falcons, hawks out there. And please stop and ask us any kind of question that you guys might have. We love to answer them. So now it is my turn to release you guys all into the wild. Thank you so much, and I'm so glad I had you guys for my last presentation. It was fantastic.